Welcome back to Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes. This is a lowish viable teams on the Galactic Legend Luke event, the Journey's End. I'm going to show you how to beat the final 3 tiers with only a Gear 12 Jedi Master Luke. If you're like me, if you're free to play, you don't always have the resources to immediately relic new characters. You might have a few days, but that doesn't mean you can't start working towards that ultimate ability right away as soon as you unlock Jedi Master Luke. I'm also going to show you how to beat the first 3 tiers of that event if you're having any trouble. I didn't really have any troubles with it, but then I heard from my brother that he was having trouble, and then I saw online a lot of other players who were struggling a little bit. So I'm going to show you what my mods were like, because I really think it is a mod-dependent problem if you're struggling with anything in the first 3 tiers. For the most part, mods don't play a significant role in this event. I didn't touch mine for it. I am going to quickly flip through them though for those who are interested. We will spend a little bit more time breaking down Jedi Knight Luke's mods before tier 3. So here are Jedi Knight Luke's. We have the stats on the right, the secondaries and primaries in the center. R2, C-3PO, Chewie, Han, and Lando. Now we will jump into the event itself. So I went into this event blind, and I recommend that you do. It's a fun event and it's an easy event, but I'm going to break down how to handle it and what the main tips and strategies are. So this is what you're looking at, and I'm going to walk you through each stage right now. So here's tier 1. It's fairly straightforward. The main part of it, and again, I didn't touch my mods, the main part with this first wave is keep R2 under stealth, put the foresight onto Jedi Knight Luke. R2 doesn't take damage as well. So foresight onto Luke. Do the repulse, get them all stunned and under control. The Gamorrean guards are the fastest ones to take down. They don't get the protection up. So I would go after them first. Get yourself to less of a disadvantage. You want to keep Luke under foresight so that he counters more and can help you take these characters out faster. And R2 loses his protection a lot faster than Luke will. You can see the counter does do most of the work here. I never lost this while playing it, but I did lose R2 in one of the playthroughs where I didn't put R2 under stealth as much. Luke, though, was still able to carry it. Repulse again, keep them stunned. This weak way here is fairly easy to take out, so I'm hitting him now. Should have done foresight. My mistake. Again, take out this weak way. Conflagration. And now he goes down. I'm going to now go after the Rodian. It doesn't really matter at this point. Once the protection's down, they just will fall over with one hit from Luke. The only thing about this final tier here is Han is blind, but because the basic is unavoidable, you just use the basic, hit Boba Fett. Let these guys take their turns. The taunts are all going to go away once they do their turns. I speed things up. None of this matters. Let them do what they're doing. Do the AoE. I shouldn't have done that. That was habit. Should have just done the basic. Doesn't really matter. As you can see, this is super easy. Should already be over except for that misclick, but we're not going to do another take. There goes Boba Fett. And now for tier 2. Here is footage for tier 2. We're using footage so we can play this at a faster rate and get through it more quickly. It's straightforward, difficult to mess up. I had playthroughs where I lost Han and I lost Wicket and still won it. You want to go after the scout troopers, so because they do the damage. Put confusion on the stormtroopers where possible, so they can't taunt as much, and you can focus your attacks on the scout troopers. Here's some the basic tips. Keep R2 forcing, doing a pseudo force taunt, and everyone under stealth as much as possible. They're fairly fragile if they are out in the open. Do the AoEs from Wicket and R2 when you're stuck behind the taunt so you can keep doing damage. And try and get through the stormtroopers as quickly as possible. I used Han on the assist with Wicket because Leia is unreliable. Sometimes you don't always get those double and triple taps from Leia, so it's not worth the risk to go with her. So for all those assists, we went after somebody with full health, and again we're calling Han to assist from Wicket. Controlling a scout. We put Leia under stealth, and now we're trying to take somebody out as quickly as possible. Stealth everyone from R2. We put confusion on one of the stormtroopers to prevent one of the taunts. And now we're staying focused on one stormtrooper, trying to get through them quickly while doing AoEs while we're stuck behind there. You see how many hits Han is taking while he's out in the open, something that we want to avoid. I tried to stun the guy with the most health, and then we took out the weaker one. Because these guys are almost gone, that's why I went with the stun from R2. I want to reset the cooldowns as much as possible between each stage. Now on this final stage, we stun the guy who does health, the commander, and we're trying to take him out as quickly as possible, and we were able to do so. Maybe we weren't able to do so. Okay, I missed that, but he's still under stun, and then the fire took him out. Otherwise, he heals and gives you a tougher encounter. You can see how we're getting close to losing Han. Putting the confusion on the Stormtrooper, doing the AoE, calling Han to do some damage and finish this up. And that's tier 2. Again, I lost Wicket in some playthroughs, I lost Han in some playthroughs. It's an easy tier. Over tier 3, I didn't have any issues whatsoever. I only found out from my brother after he asked me for some advice because he was having some issues. And I think it all comes down to mods. I looked at some other YouTubers and their footage, and their battles, they were getting more debuffs. I think that's more RNG dependent, but their battles were also much more prolonged than mine were. So here are what my stats look like. And here are the secondaries on each individual mods. I have a lot of crit chance. This is my slower mod set, so you see the speeds aren't that high. I focus more on the crit chance and offense. It's protection on the cross and the circle. Crit damage on the triangle. And we have a speed arrow. And with the battle, make sure these tips that I have here. So the speed alterations already applied. We're doing Heroes Arise to start. Then we're going to do the first special, Stalwart Advance. We landed blind, and then we just go for the basic. We are not going to do Repulse. Repulse heals Vader, so we're just going to the basic. Vader's going to take his turns. He landed some debuffs this time, so we'll just stick with the basic. Back to Stalwart Advance. We'll counter. I'll take one. And that's how it goes every time for me. Every time he never gets through my protection. And I think it's because we're just doing enough damage quickly, and because we have a slower mod set, Vader's speed is being set lower. So I'm going to start with Stalwart Advance because there's no turn meter here. Now we will do Repulse. Heroes Arise. Go back to Stalwart Advance. So the turn order that we did against Palpatine, not that it matters that much, but it's set up so that Palpatine doesn't really get a chance. I will get out here and take a look at tier 4. Now before tier 4, let me show you the mods on Jedi Master Luke. We're using a defense and health set with a decent amount of speed. Here are the stats. Because he's gear 12, we're going for defense. I could have modded him faster. What I didn't do here was take mods off of characters that already had mods. These were just the free mods that I had available. So because our Master Luke is at gear 12, we are going to play this differently than you'll see other players recommend, because those players are working with a relic'd Jedi Master Luke. With relic'd Jedi Master Luke, you call Master Luke with inherited teachings to do the damage. That doesn't work with a gear 12 Master Luke. We are going to be using inherited teachings on Anakin, because Anakin is going to be our damage dealer in this playthrough. So first, the ultimate. Because of how the cooldowns work, we're going to start with inherited teachings, call that on Anakin. Let's switch over to this. Now we are going to put Master's Training onto Anakin so we can increase his damage. We're going to pull the turn meter back, call Inherited Teachings on Anakin, use They Grow Beyond and call Anakin again. We're just calling Anakin every chance we get. Well, on Anakin's turn, this is when we call Master Luke. Again, call Anakin. And we're just calling Anakin. We're just ignoring all that other stuff. Do the turn meter removal, which doesn't do anything. Make sure you are targeting Kylo Ren. And calling Anakin. And put some foresight up. Takes a little longer, but you can beat it with Gear 12, no problem. Tier 5 is the same, we'll show that. Tier 5 is the same deal. Start with the ultimate. Inherited Teachings on Anakin, because that'll allow us to use They Grow Beyond on the next turn, and then Inherited Teachings right away. Master's Training on Anakin so we can increase his damage output. Pulling the turn meter back. Inherited Teachings on Anakin. Calling Anakin for the assist. Now we will call Master Luke. That's only on Anakin's turn. Just keep calling Anakin. He's our damage dealer in Gear 12. We're forced to attack the Stormtrooper. We land ability block, get some foresight up, and then we want to do Inherited Teachings because the cooldown order. And Tier 5 is beaten. So here is the final tier. So no changes to my mods. Things are a little bit different because the Jedi will disappear as soon as they take their turns. So because of that, we first call, after we do the ultimate, we're going to take the first turn of Inherited Teachings, and we are still going to call Anakin because of the damage he's going to be able to do. So we use the teachings and call Anakin because of how much damage he's able to do. He puts the health immunity, he puts a buff immunity. We are going to use Master's Training, and we're going to put it on Master Luke because it's our only chance to put anything onto Luke, because we'll be losing Yoda now. Now we'll do Inherited Teachings back onto Master Luke and lose Anakin. We go with the special, but I think I could have taken the turn meter away. Inherited Teaching. Well, we go for removing the turn meter. Inherited Teachings on Luke. And I believe I go with the basic. And that is the final tier using a Gear 12 Jedi Master Luke. Now I just need to do that another 9 or so times and I'll have that ultimate. I'm going to be taking Luke up to Relics pretty soon. I now have the gear that I needed to take him up there, but if you need the time, it is completely possible to be working towards that ultimate while you're still stuck at Gear 12. So thank you for watching. Be safe out there, everyone, and be excellent to each other.